Running Man started airing in 2010, and it has been going strong ever since. But in their 12 years, it's a given that the show ran into some big and some small controversies. Some of them were so controversial that they almost got the show canceled. Behind the scenes problems. I think everyone can agree that Running Man's biggest controversy involves the cast members leaving the show. In October of 2016, Kang Geri departed from the show, and not long after, Kim Jong-kook and Song Ji-hyo also announced that they would be leaving. The decision was thought to be made by the members themselves, since everyone just assumed that they wanted to focus on their solo careers, specifically singing for Jungkook and acting for Ji-hyo, but it was still confusing. Why would they decide to leave altogether? Then the shocking revelation came that the two didn't actually leave the show on their own terms, but were actually fired by the producers without a proper notice. An unnamed source said, 2 weeks ago, there were talks of a format change and a co-producer visited the filming set to announce it again. There were no talks of member changes at the time. Then they said that the show failed to let the two know of the change and that Ji-hyo even found out from the media. The source revealed, on December 12th, they had a meeting with Kim Jong-kook to tell him he was off the show. Song Ji-hyo only found out after the news made headlines. Everyone did know a change would happen as the ratings were dropping, but this type of farewell not only hurts the producers but the featured stars as well. The news made other cast members consider leaving the show as well, and it made things weird not only for Ji-hyo and Jungkook but for the others too. In fact, Kang Ho-dong, who was a popular MC, was offered a role on the show, which he wanted to accept but changed his mind as the idea became uncomfortable due to various situations. Due to this, there were reports that the show would be ending because of the controversy with Ji-hyo and Jungkook. SBS themselves confirmed that the show would be shut down, saying, Running Man members and producers gathered together in Seoul today for an emergency meeting and overcame their misunderstandings and miscommunications. After deep and lengthy discussion, both sides decided to end the show at the end of February 2017. One of the producers also supported the statement that the whole issue happened because of miscommunication between the cast members. They said, we were discussing multiple styles of formatting change, and due to a lack of communication, things got out of control and the unthinkable happened. We used to be like family, but now things are awkward between us. The show also released an apology to the two, saying that they should have been more thoughtful and considerate towards them and their feelings, especially when you take into consideration their long history with the show and how most people watch the show for them in the first place. It's obvious that the show wasn't cancelled and that both Ji-hyo and Jungkook were thankfully brought back, but Running Man had never been so close to being shut down. It wasn't the only instance though. IU's accident. Believe it or not, IU almost drowned in an episode of Running Man, so it's no wonder that people wanted the show to be over after that. In an interview she had for a radio show in 2017, she revealed that she had a nearly fatal accident on the set of Running Man. When she was filming an episode, she actually fell from a diving board into a pretty deep pool. IU reveals that even though she fully believed she could swim, she was proven otherwise at that moment. She shared that she tried to thread the water, yet it seems as though her swimming skills did not work. She then felt that she started to sink. She said, I lived my whole life thinking I could swim, but a while ago I fell into water and I seriously almost passed away. I felt the fear of falling into water for the first time. I thought I was going to float, so I held my breath and waved my arms around thinking I would float, but it didn't work that way. I just started sinking. I was so scared. She also said that she was struggling to keep her head above the water, and you can even see Ji-hyo looking at her with concern. The cast rushed to her rescue, but the incident left her scarred forever. IU revealed that because of it, now she's scared deeply of water and that she even trembles thinking about it. Controversial game. Now this didn't get the show canceled, but since this moment lost the show a lot of Chinese viewers, it must be mentioned. On December 20th, the show aired an episode where the guests play a game called Blue Marble. The game is very similar to Monopoly, and you have to invest in houses and building in cities around the world. But when Chinese netizens looked closer at the board they used for the game, they saw that the Running Man producers separated China and Taiwan and treated them as two different countries. Without getting into the politics of it all, the case of China and Taiwan is indeed a complicated one. China believes that Taiwan is a part of China, while Taiwan believes that they're a separate country. So seeing that the Running Man producers showed Taiwan as a country separate from China made Chinese netizens furious, to say the least. The comments from the netizens said that they would boycott the show and never watch it again. They demanded an apology from the show for disrespecting them and wrote, since there is not even the most basic sign of respect, I must say goodbye to Running Man. Another Chinese netizen had other thoughts saying, the more uncomfortable we are, the harder we scold them, the more Koreans will support the show. If we boycott the show this time, its ratings in South Korea may reach new highs. They don't care about Chinese fans at all. The episode was then taken down from Bilibili. reality. If Chinese viewers actually went on with the boycott, then the show would lose a good chunk of viewership because the show has become immensely successful in China for the past few years. Cruelty or entertainment? This one isn't as serious as the first one, however, it still caused quite the trouble for the show. On the episode that aired on November 15th of 2020, the hosts of the show, along with 17's Hoshi and Mingyu, participated in what the hosts called the rubber band game to win a bowl of ramen. To win this bowl of ramen, they had to place as many rubber bands on their face as possible. The cast members, along with Hoshi and Mingyu, kept complaining that the pain on their faces was too much to handle, and Somin even said, "It felt like my eyes were going to pop out." After the episode aired, netizens were outraged at the game and took to online forums to express their frustration. They complained that the game was dangerous and reckless and that it put the hosts and the guests at risk for no reason. A netizen commented, "One wrong snap of that landing on your eyes. This is a disaster in the making." Another netizen brought attention to the fact that kids also watch the show and could be getting a very bad example from the show. They said, "Kids watch Running Man all the time. Does the production team even realize what hazardous trend they may have started? Please get yourselves together and make smart decisions." Things got even worse once the trailer for the next episode aired and showed A-Pink's Namjoon playing the same game. The producers of the show failed to issue a statement on the whole controversy, but I swear I could feel my face sting when I watched them play the game. Netizens weren't at fault for this one, I guess, but this wasn't the first time the show had been criticized for such dangerous games. Blue in the face. In an episode of the show that aired in October of 2021, the guest, comedian Jung Juna, went against Kim Jong-kook in a game where the players make an attempt to stain their opponents' faces with blue powder with a sack bag. What made the game so dangerous was the fact that the players were given such a short time to complete their task. So as the opponents tried to quickly stain each other's face, obviously the force with which they hit each other increased to the point that they were close to slapping each other senseless. The game looked like it would be fun, but the longer it went on, the more concerned the viewers and the contestants got. It's also still unknown if the game was tested beforehand by the producers, but judging by the reactions of those playing, it was a surprise to them too. It's possible that Juna may have exaggerated his expressions when he was hit with the blue powder sack for the sake of comedy, but he later said that getting hit hurt more than he expected. If you watch the episode, you can also see that he had tears in his eyes after getting hit. I mean, even Jungkook was taken back by the sound the sack made when they slapped each other. Somin also had to join the game, and even though she obviously looked hurt, she still kept on going like nothing happened. Netizens weren't going to let this slide easily though. They said that the game was reckless and dangerous, and it shouldn't be played for the sake of television. Netizens commented, "I watched this and I didn't find it funny at all. It looked way too violent and dangerous. The cast who played the game also kept saying that it's painful." Again, the producers didn't comment on the controversy at all, but it doesn't mean that netizens stopped with their criticism. Share your thoughts in the comments. Hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time. Bye!